Alright, so like I said, this is the spoiler review for Avengers Infinity War, because this is my second time seeing it. This was technically supposed to be the first time seeing it. I saw it in IMAX 3D. What I have to say, like, before we get into spoilers, the difference from what I noticed, well, some of it does get into spoilers, but anyway, the difference I noticed from the IMAX screening and then the regular screening, one, besides the fact IMAX is just huge, two, like, the IMAX 3D, probably because I call them my seats, because they're, like, the seats I usually get direct in the middle, close to the top, nice, you get everything kind of shit, like, with the 3D, again, maybe because I was so dead center, that, like, the immersion was pretty damn good. I think actually this movie was filmed with IMAX cameras. I don't recall if any other ones were filmed with specifically IMAX cameras. I think probably my foot, probably Winter Soldier. I don't think I actually saw Winter Soldier on IMAX. But anyway, you know what I mean. Like there are times where they'll just put it out on IMAX. It might not be like filmed on it, but this time it was. That aside, the 3D, a lot of it was atmospheric. There were some parts where I recall when I was watching on the 2D part, where I was like, okay, I can see that being like a partial 3D element, but it's more atmospheric 3D. There were a couple like editing things I noticed, like, this is not a spoiler, but like vision. Like, you know, like when you see like his eyes, like outside of his irises, there's usually like a little bit extra because, you know, he's not full human. I noticed in the 2D one, like, there wasn't any of those lines, you know? And then in, like, the IMAX 3D one, I'm like, oh, they're back. But yeah. And then, anyway, so I'm gonna go into spoilers. 3, 2, 1, spoilers. So, about the difference. So, with the after credit sequence, you know, you see the fucking pager has Captain Marvel symbol on it. I think again, it could just be me remembering incorrectly. Again, this movie still is still trying to process it. So you know, you see the Captain Marvel like emblem and all that shit, but the 2D one, like the bottom section wasn't red. It was just all like, you know, because it's old digital stuff, so it's only just like that one color. This one, it had the red because when it popped up, I was like, oh. And probably because it was IMAX 3D, I'm guessing the people who pay for that usually are like, you know, more fans than the people I saw like the 2D in, even though there was like that guy next to me crying. When that happened, everyone's like, Captain Marvel! Like, they were all excited. Whereas, at the 2D showing, there were people who were like, what? Who's that? Some people were like, Captain Marvel! Captain Marvel! Huh? What? Who? It was like a little like half and half. But anyway, yeah, so gonna talk about this with spoilers. Like I said in the other review, like I enjoyed this movie. I'm really like, you know, happy about it. I like what they did. I like that they took the chances really that they did with this one. You know, of course, we're gonna have to wait an entire fucking year to, you know, get our answers and kind of stuff. You know, to be like, okay, how are they gonna reverse all that stuff? Please tell me. Tell me that little baby boy comes back to life. Although we do know there's going to be a second Spider-Man movie, so most likely will. You're like, how is the third volume of Guardians of the Galaxy going to go if Gamora's not with us anymore? You know, like, of course, a lot of the universe, of course, changes. And then again, it's like, I hope you fucking bring Bucky back. You know, it's like I said in the previous video, I was like, comic book logic, comic book logic. No one stays dead except for Uncle Ben. The second time watching it, knowing what I was going to see, it was still kind of like, because it's just shock. Like, the first time I watched it, it was just pure another shock. Because when, like, Bucky started to fucking dissolve, I was like, no, I'm just thinking, like, I didn't think it was actually happening, you know? I was thinking, like, oh, it was just, like all those other times with, like, the reality shit. Like, it's just, they're making Steve think that his buddy just disappeared, you know? But then when you started to see, like, a lot of the Wakandan people go, and you're like, wait a second, this might actually be happening. Once you saw that fucking, like, once that fucking Black Panther started to dissolve, yo, the audience, both audiences, when that happened, because when it happened to Bucky, the audience today was just like, huh, what? No, what? Like, just really confused. The other one just kind of didn't have a reaction, because I don't think they were able to process it. Well, same with me. I was just kind of like, wait, what just happened? You know? But once you saw that fucking T'Challa was, like, disappearing, both audiences, both times, were just like, no! What the fuck? I heard a couple, like, man. And I'm like, no, I think they want to do Black Panther too, especially the fact that you see how much fucking money that shit made and still is making. Yeah, I think we're fine. This, and then like the second time watching it and seeing the little fucking spider lad, and it hit, like his delivery actually, like the first time I was just like, no, no, come on. That was me on Sunday, like, oh fuck, no, 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 no. Like I said, like Shia LaBeoufing, like, no, 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 no. But this time I was like, I think he's really gone. It was just me watching, like, oh no, I think it's, yeah. Oh man, it's like I said, with like when I saw it on Sunday, and they're the kids that were like explaining to one another, it's like, no, the Infinity Stone can like reverse stuff, so it should be fine, and so don't worry, like I think with the next movie, everyone's gonna come back to life and everything will be okay, you know. And then like there are some people who don't know that Captain Marvel like has like in the comic is being like, you know, Thanos, like Thanos. I always pronounce it wrong. Like I just. It's like, was it Galacticus? See, I always add an extra thing there. That's why I'm like, I'm not a real comic fan because I can't pronounce it correctly. Or have a slight speech impediment. That could be also it. But anyway, but yeah, like they're calling on Captain Marvel, which, you know, we knew that there's a Captain Marvel movie. It's taking place in the 90s, which is kind of cool because it's like you get to know her, and then bam, fucking, you know, Infinity War Part 2 comes out, and fucking she goes and just fucking kicks his goddamn ass. You know, I can't wait for that. I really can't wait to see Captain Marvel. I do like they had, like, Nick Fury, pretty much Sam Jackson. He's like, mother fade, because you're like, Sam Jackson! You know, you can't say the word fuck, because I think they said shit several times. But you can't really say fuck, because when you say fuck, it's an R-rated movie, and, you know, you gotta be able to have, you know, you gotta make as much money as possible with this shit. Although it's made, like, woo! A lot of money. Anyway, so, yeah, just, like, this time, watching a second time, again, knowing what I was going into, but still being like, fuck, man. You know, I think, like, I'm not as, like, I guess you would say devastated as I was Sunday, because I was just like, no, who am I? I texted Masami, she said afterwards, she said she, like, walked into, like, a restaurant or something. I'm like, okay, I'm not the only one. Like I said, I walked into fucking Target, I was just like, what do? I guess I'll buy some chicken nuggets, some Funyuns, which I still have, and then I'm just gonna be confused about my life, you know? This time I was just like, I walked down, I was like, I have to pee and I have errands to run. Like, it was just like, it was more like that, but my brain, again, because I dealt with it already, but it was still kind of like, it's still, at least now, I don't know, like, it softened the blow at the same time because of it, because I saw it in IMAX 3D and there was such an immersion with the glasses and the shit and all that stuff. It felt too real. It felt like I was really in there. You know, like I said, the immersion, I felt like I was in the universe a little too much, where I was like, alright! You know? I was like, okay, so, and again, because everything's bigger, and you can see more of, like, the, you know, the subtle facial, you know, like, things, and, like, subtle facial things, you know, that the actors have. Like, there's one part where they kind of linger on a shot of, like, you know, Steve Rogers, and he kind of is just like, he's listening, but he's just showing like, just all that acting, all the, you know, oh man. It's funny because, like, I was very excited for Bearded Cap, of course, because I'm like, oh my god, is Chris Evans with a beard? Yes. 2, Bearded Cap, hell yeah. And it was funny because normally it's like, you know, you can always separate, like, the actor from the character, unless it's Downey, you know? Ow, the fan. It's fucking hot today. But this time, because it was Bearded Cap, it just looked like it was just Chris Evans with slightly, you know, some highlights. And it was like on Sunday when I watched it, it was like the first couple of times, it was like, the first couple of times where dialogue was, where he had like a dialogue shit where he spoke, Jesus Christ. See, the movie's still in my brain. that that I just kept thinking like it's just Chris Evans, you know, and it wasn't Cap, but again it's fine. I like bearded Cap is awesome. I don't know what else I could say in this one that, like, I guess what I could say in this one is obviously things in the, like the spoiler stuff. So in the trailer, you see like it's the Hulk, and then they run into it like the jungle. But here it's like it's Bruce Banner in the Hulkbuster, and there's no running into jungle. Like there's no like that charging scene that you saw in the trailer, which makes me kind of think like, is that gonna happen in Infinity War 2? Like was that something like just for the trailer kind of shit, you know? Like half of the time it's like something like Michael Bay related. You're like, oh, this shot was for the trailer, you know? Yeah. Like the storyline with the whole like Hulk doesn't want to come out, you know, kind of thing. On one hand, I was just kind of like, oh, come on, man. You know, you want to see Hulk come out there because you saw him in the beginning, you know, and all that shit. At the same time, if you think about it, the Hulk got his ass kicked by someone, you know, and it wasn't just like a monster, like something. It was like technically a person, I guess you would say. You know, it's an alien, but you know, like it wasn't just like, you know, it wasn't just like a big old like machine or some shit like that. It was actually like a living being. So I could see that the Hulk was like saying no because the Hulk is like, fuck that shit. You know, I got my ass kicked last time. I'm not gonna come out. You know, like he's afraid of Thanos. I can't keep doing the other way. Yeah, and like he's like, I'm afraid of this dude. Fuck that shit. That's why he's saying no. You know, and then it's like, okay, I get it. But damn, man, it's like I have a, like hopefully, you know, in the next movie he's gonna have like a redemption. He's like, shit, kind of stuff. I like the little exposition about why like Hawkeye and Ant-Man are there, because I love like when the poster came out, everyone's like, seems like 2 other Avengers are missing. And then they just like quick exposition where they're like, oh, where's Clint, or you know, they're like, well, where's Barton and Scott? And they're like, oh yeah, well, because they both have families, they decided to take some kind of like plea deal and stuff because they have families and shit. And I'm like, okay, that's understandable. Hopefully, maybe Hawkeye can have a cameo in like, you know, Ant-Man and Wasp and stuff, like something, man. Because like, goddamn, it's funny because like Renner's currently like, he's promoting his movie, That Comedy Tags. So it's just kind of funny how it's like, everyone's out promoting Infinity War. He's like, I'm promoting this comedy. You guys, remember me? Because even Paul Rudd went to the premiere, you know? But yeah, like, I get it. Like, just quick exposition, sure. The fight scene with the 3 badass ladies, that was really cool. That was awesome, you know? Just to, like, one, like, as I've said before, I love Denai Guerrera. I love her, and the fact that she's in 2 comic franchises that I love, and I'm like, go right ahead, woman. You know, you're awesome. And it was just funny, like her, and then fucking Black Widow, and they're kicking ass, and then Scarlet Witch comes out, and she's just like, "Foomp, and then she's like, why the fuck was she up there the whole time? You know? Like when the humor is in there, it feels natural. It feels like it's part of it. It's, you know, there were a couple of times where I was like, all right, well, there didn't need to be like a quip there, and there were some parts where I was expecting a quip. I was like, oh, they didn't go with a quip there, because there's a part where Scarlet Witch like pretty much saves Black Widow, and there was like she got some of like alien blood on her, and she goes, ah, that was gross, and it was funny. Like, I remember when I saw it on Sunday, I was like, you know. But then seeing it again today, I was like, I don't know if they really needed that line. But I forgot where it was, where I was expecting there to be a quip, but then there wasn't. I forgot. I think it might have been in one of the scenes with like Iron Man and like Star-Lord, or like the one-liner crew, pretty much. Like, that crew was like the one-liner crew, you know. And I do like how like they separated the stories and all that stuff, because we know the next movie, they're all gonna fucking be in one goddamn scene, you know? Like I said, I love the Russo brothers. I'm really glad they did this really well, you know? Like, it wasn't like, oh man, I was shocked, and like, I feel like my life has changed watching it the first time on Sunday, then I go see it again today, and I go, you know, Like, it's bad. It's terrible when you go, man, it really doesn't have, like, a good, like, replay value kind of thing, which is terrible. No, but this was, like, I still was, like, I knew what was coming, but I was still like, ha ha ha, like, maybe if I reach my hand out, I can save them. But yeah, I'm about to fall over. But yeah, like, I do like that they, had in, like, the three groups, but then it kind of in the end became two groups, right? Yeah, because at first it was just like it was Thor and the Guardians, and then it was Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, and Iron Man, and then it was Cap, Falcon, friggin' Rhodey, Black Widow, them, like their three group, and then then Thor. Well, not all the Guardians actually. Yeah, so then because then it's Thor and Rocket meeting up in Wakanda, and that part was awesome. Just so used to freaking what's his name, Taika Waititi's like direction with Ragnarok. So when the beam came down in Wakanda, I was expecting to hear, Zeppelin's Immigrant Song, because the way how it was just like, it's like the fucking axe was like all that stuff. Although the score was amazing because it was like the triumphant Avengers theme. So I'm like, go on it. But in my head, I was still kind of thinking a little bit of freaking Taika Waititi's shit, which is still good. But yeah, and then having it merge where it's like I said, where it was like Star-Lord, the other Guardians, and then Spider-Lad and Iron Man and stuff. So like I said, it ends up being like two groups. One's on Earth, the other one's in space. So, like, everyone, like, I'm just kind of thinking, like, just stop for a second. Like, wait a second, they're all on Earth. Most of your friends are dead. Tony is just in space by himself, I just realized, because everyone faded away, except for Nebula, because she is just more parts than human. Or human, but you know what I mean, like a organism. So it's like, okay, so it's those two in space, then everyone else on Earth that's left alive, and it's like, okay, they're gonna have to come back, and it's gonna be insane. It's gonna be insane. Like, the next movie is gonna be fucking insane. Like, I'm excited for it. It's one of those I gotta wait a whole year kind of thing, but we all know a whole year is gonna go by really quick, So, because it's like, I just thought about it, I'm like, yeah, Civil War came out 2 years ago. Last year was Guardians 2. I was like, oh, because I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, you're right. And, you probably can't see it if I point this way. I have a first Iron Man poster. It's exactly a year. It's exactly a year. Wow, it's exactly 10 years. It says May 2nd, 2008, and it's May 2nd, 2018, which is so crazy because I had that when I was in school, and now I'm not. Anyway, so yeah, the trailers are pretty much all the same. What? Oh my god. But yeah, I didn't realize that I was seeing Avengers like literally 10 years after I actually saw, Iron Man. Because I think Iron Man had come out, and I ended up going to see it like that Friday or Saturday or something. Because, this was like early days, that's like the first movie. So, it wasn't like how it is now. And I kind of like snuck in on the screening because it was with my school. And me and Mo were like, hey, I heard a bunch of freshmen are going to the screening. I wonder if we can get in. And we got there. And then once we were there, someone's like, wait a second, aren't you two seniors? And we were like, nah, wait, no, we weren't seniors, we were juniors, that's not the point. But they were like, wait a second, you guys aren't freshmen. We're like, well, we're in the theater already, because I was like, like, now I don't care, I'll pay whatever the price is for a movie, but at the time, like, fuck it, yeah, every dollar counts when you're in school, and in art school of all things. But alright, so Mission Impossible 6 was one of the trailers, Venom, this one was just the teaser one, rather than the full one we saw before. Deadpool 2. I'm very excited for that. First time I ever saw the Fantastic Beast. Oh, it was the Fantastic Beats. 2 trailer. I didn't watch the other movie. Like, after the Harry Potter stuff, I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with this universe. I'll go to the theme park stuff, drink some butterbeer, but I don't care anymore. Jurassic World 2, Incredibles 2, and then, you know, Solo. Yeah, so like I said, the trailers are pretty much the same thing, because we know what the fuck we're gonna see. Yeah. Probably the next movie I'm gonna see is probably Deadpool 2 or Solo, whichever one, whenever Paul comes back from his extended ass goddamn vacation. But anyway, yeah. So that's the spoiler one, which is not much different from the spoiler-free one, but more detail. Anyway, yeah, so like, of course everyone has gone to see this, because this movie has made a fuck ton of money already. But anyway, yeah, so again, we just gotta wait a year for this, and then we get to see Hawkeye as Ronin. But yeah, let's hope all our babies come back alive. Let's just hope all our babies come back alive. Yeah.